So I'm presenting on trauma healing through recreation and leisure, how I used recreation and leisure activities in my self-healing journey. So as Helen mentioned, my name is April. I'm a multiple trauma survivor and mental health advocate. I hold a degree and diploma in recreation and leisure services, as well as a postgraduate certificate in event management. Currently, I am training to become a certified trauma recovery coach. So I'd like to start things off with my story. When it all began. In 2011, just weeks after I started my first semester of university, I walked into the on-campus counseling office because I knew something was off about me. In that appointment, the counselor dismissed my symptoms. He told me that I am homesick and that I would just get over it. That bothered me because I knew being homesick wasn't the reason I was feeling the way I was. Throughout the whole semester, something was nagging at me that there was something wrong, that there was an answer to the way I was feeling. After the second semester started in January 2012, I knew I needed answers. So I made an appointment with my family doctor back in Ottawa. In that appointment, I got answers. I was diagnosed with depression. I wasn't homesick like the counselor told me. I was fighting a mental illness. I was told that my depression went undiagnosed for years. Little did I know my depression was a root cause of something deeper. In 2016, after an unexpected breakup, I was diagnosed with anxiety. Little did I know my anxiety was a root cause of something deeper. In 2019, I was assaulted in a mall. It was a downward spiral from there with symptoms of PTSD. I didn't know then that this is what I've been suffering from. March 2020 was when everything changed for me. I started digging deeper within myself because of something inside of me knew my anxiety and depression were from something deeper. I sat down and started writing out all the traumas I have experienced ever since I was a child. 2 days before Ontario went into the first lockdown, I was diagnosed with PTSD. I finally had answers to why I was suffering from insomnia, flashbacks, and more symptoms. Even though I had answers, I didn't start my recovery journey right away. I had to be in the right place mentally and internally to start my self-healing journey. I took the first steps with being back on medication. The next step was to find a new therapist. July 2020, I started to see my new therapist. During our sessions together, she also diagnosed me with complex PTSD, meaning some of my traumas were not one-time events, but repeated over time by the same person. As I mentioned in the beginning, I am a multiple trauma survivor. I have survived emotional and verbal abuse, assault, sexual harassment, medical trauma, and more. Some little fast facts. It is known that 1 out of 5 Canadians will experience a mental illness or mental health problem, according to the Mental Health Commission of Canada. But did you know that only an estimated 8% of Canadians will experience a traumatic event that will develop PTSD? So what is available to those with PTSD and complex PTSD? As I researched more and more about PTSD, I saw little resources available for survivors. Programs that I see being offered were only being offered to veterans and first responders. Other sites just said to go to therapy, try a specific form of therapy, or try meditation or yoga. Here's the thing. Therapy doesn't work for everyone. Yoga and meditation doesn't work for everyone as well. I have a great therapist, don't get me wrong, and talking to her really helps, but I needed something more. So what did I do to heal? 2 months after my complex PTSD diagnosis, I took things into my own hands. I turned back to my background in recreation and leisure. I continued to do more research on recreation trauma healing as well. Unfortunately, there's not much research out there. And when I did find studies on PTSD and recreation, it was very little, and it was on veterans from the Vietnam War. I started to see an impact and changes in my own self-healing journey when I started to do activities that had a positive impact on my mental health. Basically, I was doing research on myself. Let's run that again. I discovered wood burning and watercolor. I started working out again and doing mini dance parties to boost my mood. I started baking more. My cats are my own pet therapy, and I just continue to explore recreational and leisure activities. What people don't realize is the positive impact these activities and hobbies have on us, how recreation and leisure can help us heal. As I started to share more about my self-healing journey, I showed how these activities benefit my mental health. Play brings joy, nature brings calmness and grounding, art brings creativity, working out brings focus on the muscles and moves, pets and animals bring peace and happiness. I was healing my inner child. Inner child healing is more than just writing a letter to him or her, meditating and journaling. Inner child healing is about connecting to it at a deeper level, which is why I created Blossoming from Within. Blossoming from Within was launched in August 2021. I help women trauma survivors establish tools and resources to connect with their inner child through recreation and leisure. So in late February 2022, I'll be able to start offering these services after I complete my coaching certification requirements. And they include trauma recovery coaching, healing recreated, blossoming together, which is starting in January, and recreation therapy. So let's break it down. Trauma recovery coaching is one-on-one coaching sessions to help the survivor set attainable recovery goals, providing a safe place to speak and be heard, helping the survivor build strength and positive coping mechanisms, and helping guide, teach, and mentor them. Healing Recreated is a 12-week coaching program that I have designed to help survivors dig into past and current recreation and leisure activities. At the end of the program, the survivor will have identified recreation and leisure activities to pursue in their healing journey. Blossoming Together is a virtual 6-week free peer support group for women who are trauma survivors or living with a mental illness. This program starts the week of January 10th and is led by myself and a certified mental health professional. Participants are guided through a topic for discussion each week. Finally, recreation therapy. Clients have the opportunity to work with Katie Carter, a certified recreation therapist, one-on-one through activity-based interventions that they would like to explore. So a couple of examples include a mindful art task that has a goal around gratitude or coping skills, or a guided meditation. As Katie continues working with the trauma survivor, the more she will know the right activities for them for their journey. See the world through the eyes of your inner child, the eyes that sparkle in awe and amazement as they see love, magic, and mystery in the most ordinary things. Henna Sohal. So here are some activities that you can use to connect with your inner child. Coloring or other forms of art therapy. Physical play, like kicking a ball around or playing at a park. Watching cartoons or other old TV shows or movies you enjoyed at that age. Watching clouds or just looking up at the sky, watching birds and planes go by. So I like to leave you with these questions for self-reflection. When was the last time you did an activity or hobby that brought you joy? Now ask yourself, why did you stop doing that activity or hobby? Are you willing to pick it up again? If not, what new activity or hobby are you willing to try? And finally, when was the last time you connected with your inner child through play? Thank you. I hope you are able to connect with your inner child in a whole new way.